I don't think we've had a rough three. I think it's been a great 3 or 4 months. You know, I mean, you got a guy that gets in trouble that gets put off the team out of 115 players. You got a guy that goes pro, who did pretty good the other night, by the way. I was pretty impressed with him at left tackle. You got another guy who gets in a bad situation. You know, we got a lot of guys that have had great summers and great 3 or 4 months. And it's unfortunate that, you know, a few guys that don't do the right things, that's all of a sudden you've had a bad summer, and that's not the case at all. We've had a great summer. And this football team is focused. This football team is ready to play. My job is to always maintain discipline within the program, and I'll do that. And if it means letting a guy go, if it means sitting a guy down, we'll handle that. And I'm the only one that can make those decisions. And I'm very confident in where we are, you know, from that standpoint. But nothing's changed. I love our team, love our personnel, and we'll be ready to play September 5th.
Dabo, is DJ being disciplined, or is this?
No, this is you know, again, a decision that he made for some personal things that he's dealing with. And there's nothing else to say, guys. I'm not going to answer any more questions about DJ Reader. I put a statement out. Don't ask me another question about him. I'm going to talk about the guys that are here on this team. Period, the end. So y'all want to talk about Christian, you want to talk about Huggins, you want to talk about Pagano, you want to talk about the guys that are here, that's who we're going to talk about.
How about today's
all
practice?
them other guys that aren't here, that's not who we're focused on. So I get it. I've answered your questions. I've made a statement. Ain't nothing else to say.
You've been in college football for a long time. You know this. A defensive line that loses all 4 starters rarely comes back within months and is as good as it was the previous year. An offensive line that loses 80% of the starting lineup rarely is as good as it was. I mean, how often have you seen that?
I have no idea. All I know is we had 42 freshmen in 2011 won the ACC. That's all I know. Grady Jarrett, Sean Williams, all them guys were freshmen and had to play a lot for us. I could care less. All I know is we're going to be judged on what we do this year. I'm not worried about that at all. I'm worried about beating Wofford, and we'll be ready. We'll be ready to play. That I can assure you. We'll be ready to go.
Hey, they lost 9 starters, or hey, this is good. You think, or is that a fair?
Well, I mean, listen, you can have 20 starters back, but they might stink. That might be a bad thing. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, there's some bad teams out there with a lot of starters back, and they're probably not going to be very good again. You know, who's taking their place? Okay, Vic Beasley's gone. Shaq Lawson. Shaq started 1 game in his career. You know, all I know is we got good players, and we ain't making no excuses. Don't look for any excuses from us at Clemson. All right, we're good enough to win. Is it a challenge when you have inexperience? Absolutely, absolutely. But that's not an excuse. We've recruited well. Let's coach them up, and let's go do the best we can. As long as, and again, I don't measure our success based on our record or the scoreboard. Other people do. I don't. I know what our commitment is. I know what our work ethic is. I know the improvement that guys are making. That's what I pay attention to. And you know, whether that's 15-0 or 8-4, I have no idea. Things happen, and so that's how I evaluate it. You know, it's not as black and white as some people on the outside see things. They're just not. They just don't know what's going on within our walls and on that practice field. And but you know, we'll be evaluated in November. We'll look back and we'll see whether we had a good year or average year or great year. And you know, my expectation is to be a great football team and have a great year. And I love the mentality of our team. I like the chemistry. I like the resolve. I like the focus. This is a team that's going to come ready to play.
Particularly those 4 young defensive tackles, Robinson, Pagano, Huggins, Wilkins. You go out there the first 2 weeks against experienced teams, Louisville and Notre Dame. They have experienced offensive lines. How do you treat them as, you know, now they're going to be counted upon so much in the first 4 games to
just go play? I mean, we just go play. That's what we do. We prepare all year long for 12 Saturdays, and if Dan Brooks rolls one out there, he's going to be ready to play. Is he going to be as good this year as he's going to be as a senior? No. Grady Jarrett wasn't as good as a freshman as he was a senior either. Neither was Deshaun Williams. When I watched Deshaun Williams on TV just dominate the line of scrimmage last night, dominated the point of attack. I mean, dominate. And when he was a freshman, he was a good player with a bright future, but not a great player. But by the end of the year, he was pretty doggone good, and just got better and better and better. So that's just where we are. But the good news is they're talented, you know. And when you got guys that care and you got talent and good coaches, good things happen.
Is this the toughest? I mean, you mentioned that Grady and those guys played a lot as youngsters, but is this the toughest hand that Brooks has been dealt? You know, especially in that interior.
Yeah, he's really struggling with Albert Huggins and Pagano and Jabril and Christian Wilkins and Carlos Watkins. I don't feel sorry for Dan Brooks. He's got plenty of talent, and he's loving every second of it. He'll have them coached up. He'll have them ready to go. These are good players, and it would be struggling if we had a bunch of guys that were average. We've got good players that will be ready to play, and they'll be excited to play.